Hey, welcome back to the Orange Tree Homestead. Today we're going to be doing a full tour of the chicken coop and chicken runs. So let's check it out. Alright, we're going to start up here at the hen house entry. And we've got 19 hens currently. And so what you're seeing right here is the outside of the nest box. And this is a roll-away nest box system. So they lay an egg and it rolls down into there. You can see we got one hanging out now. So those roll away and you come and grab them. You can grab them from the outside. So that's real convenient if all of them lay in there, which you'll see they don't. We've got another one here because although this one was rated for up to 24 hens, they just were laying on the ground a lot. So we got another one and we put it low. They're supposed to go high, but we put it low in order to teach them to go in it. So that should get raised up eventually. And then this one you can see, this is oriented with the eggs in the front, but you can flip them around real easily. And then this bar is how they get in. You can shut this each night if you want so nobody sleeps in there, which is ideal. Because you don't want them sleeping in there and pooping on the eggs. But the thing is, we put these up and they can even get in there. That's how bad they want to get in there. I put them up and come in the morning and someone's in there hanging out and the bar is still in place. They didn't even take it down. They just snuck under it. So they're pretty crazy. If they want to get in there, they will. Yeah, that's a broody one. See, we end up with all these broody ones. They just want to sit on eggs all day. Like her, she's just sitting on the eggs. You're not supposed to lay on the ground. Ah! You're not supposed to lay on the ground. There's not even eggs under you. There was eggs there, I moved them. Yeah, so anyways, this is its own endeavors, trying to get them to lay where they're supposed to. If you have any tips, let me know. But anyways, moving on to the feed system. This is what's called a no waste feeding system. So there's 3 of these openings. It's a 3-inch ABS fitting, and there's a 45 degrees, so it goes in and then it turns down a little, and they have to stick their head in there to get food. And so the benefit of that is they don't waste as much because they actually have to stick their head in and look for food when they're hungry. So it's not like a feed bar, or the traditional ones where they can get in and just make a mess and muck it up and scratch through it. So this is a little less than half full. I can add another bag soon. And you can see that's the other end of the fitting. So it just feeds through as they eat. And this is really nice because you only have to fill it every maybe week and a half, 2 weeks. So it takes some of the maintenance out of it. Next we'll talk about these roost bars. So that's where they sleep at night. You want these, 4, 5, 6 feet off the ground. The higher the better, but they need headroom too. So this is actually a ton of space for them with the 19 hens. There's still a lot of room left, so I could actually get like 30 hens in here if I wanted for sure. So it's an 8 by 10 hen house. So yeah, that's 8 foot, the other one's 8 foot, and that's 10 foot. So what's that? 26 lineal feet. And there's absolutely no issue at all. There's still plenty of room left over. Next is the thermometer. Hang that in here just to always keep track of the highs and lows and see how hot it's getting and all that. Just a cheap thermometer off Amazon. And it hasn't gotten too hot lately, 92. I reset this a few weeks ago and we're in, May now. So then we'll check that out. That's the little doggy door for them to get outside, so just always leave that open. But if you want, you could close it for some reason, you could. And then we'll talk about the bedding system. So what I've got down here is hemp shavings. And it's supposed to be the best one out there. It's better than wood shavings or straw. You really don't want to use straw. It's just the best option. And it's more absorbent and just better overall. But what the system I have here is called the deep bedding system. So what you do is you put down a layer when you get started, maybe 1 to 2 inches thick. And as they start using it and mucking it up, what you do is you top it off. So you don't remove it or clean it once a month. You top it off every few months. So you'll end up with it, you know, 4, 5, 6 inches deep. You can see it, that's pretty deep right there. And then there's the plywood bottom. The plywood bottom's completely dry and clean because there's this deep bedding. So, you know, in that corner over there, that's probably 6, 7 inches already, and you just keep loading it up. Eventually it'll get super deep and just overloaded and done, so you're gonna clean it out at that point, maybe every year. Could even go a little longer. We're getting close to a year over here. So yeah, that's cool. And then when you do that, you have a bunch of fertilizer for the garden. So I really like this method. It just takes the headache out in maintenance. I don't like maintenance. So I don't want to clean out a coop every month or two. That's not what I do. So deep bedding method for the win. Highly recommend it. All right, so now close that door. Quick note, if you have the room, you're making a coop, having the ability to have a full-size door and walk into the coop and stand up is just amazing. When it is time to clean it or just go in there in general and do maintenance, it's really, really nice to not have to hunch down, crawl around and, you know, bungle around in there and bump into things. So consider that if you're still designing a coop, that more space is always better. All right, so next we come down here. There's a view outside hen house. So next we are coming through the gate here, and this is the day run. It's just open air. It's just got the little 2x4 sized galvanized wire. This is where we let them out each day, so they're hanging in here all day. This is their main free-ranging run, and they've got trees back over there, dirt, boulders and stuff, and they come out here and just range around and look for food. And this is good because it reduces feed cost, because they're able to find a lot of stuff that they can eat out here, so that's really good. You can see them, there's some in the shade over there looking for food. So anyways, then we get to the main enclosed run, and nice big 4-foot door on here, so if you wanted to wheel in a wheelbarrow or whatever, there's plenty of room. The wire here is 1/4-inch hardware cloth, and you know, you could use stuff with a bigger opening, but I wanted to keep mice and rats out. Just didn't want them coming in, eating the food or spreading disease, so I figured make it as rodent proof as possible, and so that's why I went with the 1/4-inch. And the nice thing about this is went with the black coated stuff, so you can see through it better. It's probably hard to tell through a video, but you can see through it better, and if it doesn't have that, you get a glare off of the galvanized wire, just the metal wire. It glares, so that's why the black stuff's cool. All right, so there's the doggy door that they come in on. Here's one little perch they can hang out on, a little roost bar. They don't go on that one very often. It's just kind of an awkward spot. This is the main one they hang out on when it's hot during the middle of the day. They come over and just chill on this roost bar and kind of congregate in this shady area. Put the shade covering on this part, so you can see there's no shade over there, and then shade, and then double shade. So this is where they hang out when it's hot. And then we'll check out the watering system. So under that black bag is a 5-gallon bucket. The reason for the bag is to prevent sunlight from getting in and causing algae growth. So black bucket full of water comes in. These are the automatic feeding systems, and they just put their beak on that. They put their beak on that and they get water. So you don't have to waste a lot of water. They know how to use it. You don't get a messy system, and you don't have to refill your water every day or two or however often. So this thing is amazing because all you do is just come and check a couple times a week or however often, and just make sure it's still working and that there's no leak or mess or anything went wrong. This is completely automated. I have a water line coming in here, shut off down here, pressure regulator so it doesn't overload the system. Another shut off here, even though it's not needed, but that's to get us to the line in. It goes into the bucket and it has a toilet fill valve, so it keeps it at the level of about here. So that's why I raised this up a little more. You have to have head pressure to get these to work. So anyways, I may do a separate video on that at some point, but very important for me to have a lot of things easy, automated, lowest maintenance. It just makes everything so much better. So yeah, with the feeding and the water, the bedding system, low maintenance is always better because it just ends up being, it can be a lot of work day in and day out, especially if you have to change food every day or two. Anyways, that's the chicken coop. Again, 19 hens. We could even add more. I'm just at that for now. We get probably close, maybe a dozen a day, so it works for us. We eat a lot of eggs. Anyways, thanks for checking the video out. Be sure to subscribe and like the video, and we'll see you on the next one.